2 people were hurt when a truck crashed after a police chase in Aurora. Thanks for joining us for 4 o'clock at 9 News. I'm Tom Green.
I'm Alexandra Lewis. 2 hours ago, Aurora police said a man is still in the hospital after officers performed a pit maneuver to stop his speeding truck. This started about 1:30 this morning when Aurora officers were chasing another red pickup related to a felony menacing call. The other driver, who was in a white truck, got in their way during the chase on 225. Aurora police say that driver was throwing stuff out of the window and eventually fired shots at officers. Police were able to stop the white truck along I-25 and Arapahoe Road, where it flipped on its side. Officers tell us a man identified as 31-year-old Aaron Wallace and a woman inside of the white truck were hurt and taken to the hospital. That woman has since been released. Wallace is expected to be arrested once he's out of the hospital, while the woman is currently cooperating with the investigation. APD says it's also still searching for the original red truck officers were after in the first place. Our Jeremy Hohola will bring us much more tonight at 5 o'clock. A Greeley woman's family says they're still grieving her loss, holding on to her memory after she was killed in a domestic violence incident.
40-year-old Laura Rubin died last week. Her husband shot and killed her before turning the gun on himself. Our Northern Colorado reporter Amanda Gilbert spoke to Laura's dad and sister about how they want her to be remembered.
Laura Rubin lived here for about a year. She was actually a student here at the University of Northern Colorado, and her family says it's clear she made an impact in her short time here.
Laura Rubin was excited to move from Georgia to Greeley with her husband Charles Rubin and her daughters.
She was always adventurous.
Her dad, Darren Gilderoy, says she went back to school.
Since we're on the UNC campus, she's also a UNC student here, working on her master's degree.
She did that and worked with hearing and visually impaired students in Greeley-Evans School District 6.
She's always been involved, and especially with the special needs children.
He didn't know how bad things were at home.
Her life was normal. We knew there were some issues going on, but we didn't think they were to the point that they were.
Laura's sister, Jessica Callahan, had a better understanding.
It wasn't until February, the end of February, that she had decided that it was best to get a restraining order after he had put holes in the windshield of her vehicle.
Sadly, Jessica says Laura had been trying to get help even in the last moments of her life.
It's my understanding that Charles shot his first shot while the police officer was on the phone.
This family says domestic violence needs to be taken seriously.
These situations happen because the person with the mental illness is not willing to address the fact that they have a mental illness.
The worst thing possible happened in their family.
Yeah, we're going to miss her a lot.
But Laura's dad says hearing from her friends, her community, has helped.
They've made it amazingly better. All right, so I'm a Greeley fan, just to put it that way.
He'll hold on to that support while remembering Laura.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
Amanda Gilbert, 9 News.
Laura's family also said they're working with UNC, hoping to possibly dedicate a tree on the campus in her honor.
Take a live look outside right now. Today had us questioning, is it summer or spring? We got above 70 again today. Felt amazing, super nice for this time of year, but our weather impact team is tracking some changes coming in this weekend.
Wait. Let's dwell on today.
I agree. The people need to know, but it has been so amazing, Kathy, that we should just like bask in the sunshine a little while longer.
Yeah, we're still in the 70s, Kath.
Yeah, warmest I've seen at DIA was 73. Tomorrow, I think we'll come close to 80, breaking a record. So kind of a fall summer ahead of a little wintry twist for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It is our snowiest month, by the way, and we haven't had much snow recorded out at DIA. Thankfully, the wind is not a big part of our story today. Excellent visibility, really warm temperatures, running way above average. And we just popped up to 75 in Denver, so that is our new high temperature here, with low 80s in southeastern Colorado. Average high this time of year is about 59. Wind's not a big player today, but the wind will be increasing ahead of a storm system. Before the storm system gets here, we're watching a little wave coming up from the southwest that's bringing some much needed moisture to the Four Corners area. This is the weekend storm, still offshore from Seattle and Portland, has not moved onshore yet. Ahead of it again, we'll get a chance of a few light showers off and on over southern Colorado. The next 12 hours in Denver look comfortable. Mid-70s now, dropping to the mid-60s by about 9 o'clock tonight. Weather headlines said no surprise with this string of unusually warm, dry dry days in our snowiest month. We have elevated fire danger to talk about. We have record high temperature potential tomorrow and rain and snow in Denver's forecast. How will that time out with your weekend plans? I'll have that forecast coming up.
2 men are facing federal charges for illegally making and selling 3D printed gun parts across the country. 9 News Investigates obtained new federal court records filed just this morning. The 2 men were arrested in Colorado Springs. Christian Granat and Aiden Fritz face 6 counts for possession and manufacturing of machine guns. Court documents show they were 3D printed conversion devices to turn gun into machine guns. Today, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld a Biden administration effort to regulate so-called ghost guns. The case centered on whether ghost guns kits can be regulated the same way as other firearms. Those kits can be assembled by consumers using some 3D printed parts and are untraceable. Those challenging the regulation came from the ATF, and they did not have the authority to apply the Gun Control Act to the kits. The Supreme Court did not agree with that argument.
NBC News has learned from 2 defense officials that the Pentagon had sent a warning alerting about a known vulnerability in the app Signal. The warning said that Russia-aligned threat groups are actively targeting the Signal Messenger app. It went on to say it was targeting those likely to exchange sensitive military and government communication. They also warned people to upgrade the app to the latest version. NBC News has obtained the actual email, which was sent prior to this week's news that a journalist from The Atlantic was included in a group chat about recent military operations targeting Houthi rebels. It was a year ago today that a cargo ship leaving the port of Baltimore crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge. There were 6 people working on the bridge who died in the collapse.
Today, family members gathered at the site to honor those lost. While that's happening, there's new information on the massive project to build a new bridge. NBC's Jay Gray has more.
A year later, dozens gather along the edge of the crippled Key Bridge.
We all remember where we were when we learned that the Key Bridge fell. It's a moment we will never forget.
The Singapore flagged container ship Dolly crashing into a support pier, ripping apart the structure and the lives of 6 families. 6 members of a road crew killed as the bridge suddenly collapsed beneath them.
And to the families of the victims that are with us today, there is little that I can say to truly be the balm for the pain that you feel.
Pain that spilled out a day earlier in the waters where their loved ones died, some visiting the site for the first time since the tragedy. It took more than 3 months to pull the ship from the scene and the wreckage from the water, crippling one of the busiest shipping lanes in the United States. Now, 12 months later, ships are again moving in and out of the port, while agencies and businesses play the blame game, with multiple legal battles over the tragedy still playing out in court. Land and underwater surveys are ongoing at the site, designs being considered, permits issued to start building a new bridge.
Marylanders of this generation and the next will look up and once again see the Francis Scott Key Bridge standing tall, and you have my word on that.
Construction expected to begin by the end of this year. Jay Gray, NBC News, Baltimore.
New enrollment numbers from CU Denver shows enrollment at that campus is at a 5-year low. That's despite record high enrollment across the CU system. 13,730 students enrolled at CU Denver for the 2024 fall semester. That's about 1,500 less than the fall of 2020, which was peak pandemic. During that period, applications to CU Denver have increased, causing the total percentage of applicants matriculating to decrease. A university spokesperson told our partners at the Denver Business Journal that applications have stabilized for this enrollment season.
Got some breaking sports news just within the last hour. The Colorado Rockies season now gets underway in just 2 days. And starting next month, you'll be able to watch Rockies baseball here for free right over the air. The Rockies and 9 News announcing a partnership to air 10 of the games this season on KTVD, with 5 of those games also being simulcast right here on Channel 9 News. The first game that'll hit our airwaves May 23rd when the Rockies take on the Yankees. That game at Coors Field. 9 News and proud to partner with the Rockies, bringing games to fans across the state. If you want the full list of the games that will air right here, head to our website at 9news.com.